Hi, I'm Melissa with Mix and Some Magic. Each week I bring you the best Disney vacation tips, park strategies, and deep dives into attractions, history, and all things Disney to sprinkle a little magic into your day. Let's make your Disney dreams come true. Tune in and mix in some magic with me. Hello and welcome to Mix and Some Magic. I'm so glad that you're here. Today's episode is packed with exciting updates about what's coming to Disneyland over the next few years, and I am really excited about all of it. From brand new attractions and lands to major transformations happening behind the scenes, this is your insider look at the future of the parks. But first, let's talk about something I know a lot of you have been watching closely, and that is Oogie Boogie Bash ticket update information. We finally have ticket sale dates for Oogie Boogie Bash 2025. Here's what you need to know. Tickets go on sale to the general public on June 26th, no earlier than 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And yes, there will be pre-sale for Magic Key holders. So Inspire Magic Key holders can get tickets on June 24th, and all Magic Key holders can get tickets on June 25th. Also, no earlier than 9 a.m. Pacific Time on those days. Now, a waiting room will open up about 8:45 a.m. Pacific Time, and I suggest you be ready to get into the waiting room as soon as it opens up. If you're planning to try for tickets, make sure you're following me on Instagram, because over there I'll be sharing tips and reminders about how to prepare, what to expect, and how to give yourself the best shot at scoring those hard-to-get party tickets. And if you want a full breakdown of all of the party dates, the ticket prices, what's included, and more, you'll find my complete Oogie Boogie Bash guide over on my website. I put a link down below. Now, if you are planning a trip to Disneyland to catch all of these upcoming changes that we're going to be talking about, or Halloween time at Disneyland, then you need to check out Getaway Today. They have the best deals on Disneyland tickets and hotel packages, and their customer service is amazing. I use them for all of my own trips, and they even offer layaway plans so you can book now and pay later. Give them a call at 855-GETAWAY and tell them Mix and Some Magic sent you, or use the link in the show notes to start planning your trip. Okay, let's start with something that's going to completely change how we enter Disneyland, because we are getting a new parking structure, transportation hub, and Esplanade experience, and this whole thing is kind of blowing my mind. So coming to the east side of the resort is a brand new parking structure and transportation hub. It'll be located where the Manchester cast member parking lot is now, and it's going to include about 6,000 parking spots, rideshare and shuttle areas, security screening, and dedicated traffic access off Disney Way. But here's what I'm most excited about: a pedestrian bridge that will go right over Harbor Boulevard and will lead to an all-new Esplanade arrival experience. I'm really excited about the new Esplanade. I'm excited about the pedestrian bridge, and I'm really excited for the new rideshare drop-off and pickup, because what they have now is not working. It's a disaster, and whatever they do has to be an improvement over what is happening now. Now, this new entrance setup is all about improving the guest flow, easing traffic, and getting more people into the parks faster and smoother. Construction is expected to begin in fall of 2026, and it's just the first step toward even more growth at Disneyland. Now let's talk about Avengers Campus at Disney California Adventure, because it's about to double in size. There are two new attractions coming: Avengers Infinity Defense and Stark Flight Lab. Let's talk about Avengers Infinity Defense first. This one's a dark ride that will take you on a multiverse mission alongside your favorite Avengers. So the story is that the tech that allows heroes to jump between worlds has been stolen by King Thanos, and chaos is breaking out across the multiverse. Of course, we are going to be there to help take care of the problem. You'll visit iconic locations like Asgard, Wakanda, and New York City, fighting alongside big and small heroes, and there's a good chance you'll come face to face with King Thanos himself. Construction is set to begin next year, and I cannot wait. I think this one's going to be awesome. Next up is the Stark Flight Lab. This ride drops you into Tony Stark's workshop where you'll board two-person gyrokinetic pods. And if you don't know what that is, neither do I. It's okay. But this ride vehicle will be hoisted into the air by a robot arm for a simulated flight. It's fast, it's high-tech, and it's inspired by all the abilities of Iron Man and the Avengers. Oh, and Robert Downey Jr. is returning to voice Tony Stark in the attraction, which is seriously cool. Both rides begin construction next year and are shaping up to be incredible additions to the land. Let's talk about Coco. There is a Coco ride coming to DCA. Over near Paradise Gardens Park and Pixar Pier, Disney California Adventure is getting its very first Coco ride. This musical attraction will take you through Santa Cecilia and into the land of the dead, with characters like Miguel and Hector guiding your journey. It's set to be full of music and color and heart, just like the movie, and I think it's going to be a huge hit. Construction is scheduled to begin in fall of 2025, so it's coming sooner than you might think. Now we got to shift over to something we don't know quite as much about, and that is the Avatar destination coming to DCA. Disney is transferring a portion of the Hollywood backlot area into a new land inspired by Avatar. And here's where it gets interesting. So people are kind of confused about what's going on, and I wish I knew, but let me tell you what everyone is confused about. So the original concept art that they released last year showed what looked like a slow-moving boat ride inspired by Avatar: The Way of Water. And it kind of looked like maybe an adventure ride, maybe a calm boat ride. It was hard to tell from the concept art, but it was definitely going to be an immersive e-ticket attraction. But in the most recent Disney Parks blog update that just came out this week, they shared new concept art that hints at a walkthrough experience, more like Journey of Water inspired by Moana at Disney World. So if you have been to Epcot at Disney World recently, you might have experienced the Journey of Water inspired by Moana. And basically it's a walkthrough experience that's really cool. It's very interactive. It has a lot of water, but you don't get wet unless you want to. Kids love it. They have, it's really hard to explain, but they have different places where you can stand and jump and it'll make water spouts jump in front of you. Or they have places where you can touch water that's flowing and it will kind of make different harp type sounds. And there's all kinds of really cool things and it's fun, but it's not like blow your mind fun. It's not like, an e-ticket attraction fun. And so people are kind of confused. Like, which is it? Are we getting a big e-ticket attraction in this Avatar section? Or are we getting a walkthrough that's kind of like a little splash pad for kids, like Journey of Water inspired by Moana at Disney World? Or are we getting both? I don't know. Disney hasn't confirmed exactly what the guest experience will be, but they have called it an Avatar destination instead of just attraction, which leads me to think it's going to be an immersive land with interactive elements, probably shopping and dining, and I would think that it would need at least one major ride, right? That just makes sense. So I'm thinking it will probably be both, but we really don't know. To make room for to make room for it, Monsters Inc. Mike and Sully to the Rescue will be closing in early 2026. So be sure to ride it while you still can. And there are a lot of feelings about Disney closing down this amazing ride, this Monsters Inc. ride, to replace it with Avatar. We're going to talk about that in a couple of minutes. Let's take a quick break for our sponsors to pay some bills around here. While we're dreaming about future park trips, don't forget to check out Audible. They've got thousands of audiobooks, podcasts, and exclusive content that's perfect for your commute, your daily walk, or even waiting in those Disney lines. I like to listen to Audible while I'm folding clothes, doing yard work, really anything. I love to have a good audio book going. It just helps me pass the time, especially when I have to do those little daily chores that I don't really want to do. Use the link in the show notes to get your free trial and enjoy your first credit on Audible on me. And of course, a huge shout out to my amazing Patreon members. Your support means the world to me, and it's the reason I get to create this podcast each week. If you want access to bonus episodes, ad-free listening, magic mail, and more fun extras, check out the link in the show notes. I'd love to have you join the Patreon family. You know, talking about all these upcoming changes really got me thinking, this isn't obviously the first time Disneyland fans have had to say goodbye to something that they love. In fact, it's kind of a tradition at this point, I guess. Disneyland is always evolving, and that's by design. So, if you've been going to the parks for a while, you've probably experienced a few of these transformations firsthand. Let's take a little trip down memory lane and talk about some fan favorites. Let's start with the Skyway. Remember that? Do you remember that? This is one that I vividly remember. You used to be able to hop in a gondola and glide from Tomorrowland to Fantasyland and passed right through the Matterhorn. It was such a peaceful, beautiful way to take in the park. The Skyway closed in the 90s, and at the time people were heartbroken. And if we still had it around today, I think people would absolutely love it, but that's just one of the things that went by the wayside a long time ago, and now a lot of people don't even remember it because it was so long ago. And who could forget the switch from Tower of Terror to Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout? That was one hot topic. People were so upset about losing the creepy classic Tower of Terror with its haunting music and spooky hotel vibe. I mean, like, upset. I remember seeing petitions like Save Tower of Terror, and people were trying to get people to sign. Like, they thought that maybe if they got enough signatures, Disney would change their mind, which I don't think would ever happen. But I think I signed one or two. I have no idea, but I remember getting them. And I remember being so bummed too. Like, really? This is a classic. This is amazing. Why, Disney? Why are we doing this? But now, Guardians is one of the most popular attractions in DCA. It's fast and funny and re-rideable and full of energy. And honestly, the soundtrack is so good. And I love that you don't know which I love you don't know which song you're going to get each time. It's just so fun, and I prefer it over Tower of Terror. I thought I loved Tower of Terror so much until we got Guardians. And then I was like, ooh, Guardians, though, this is where it's at. I know some people still disagree with me and prefer Tower of Terror, but I am a Guardians fan. Or how about A Bug's Land? Oh, I know this is still like a little tender topic for some people. That whole area was such a hit with little kids. The Heimlich's choo-choo train, so cute. I remember riding that with my little ones, and I loved how you could smell watermelon when you were going through the watermelon slices. So cute. Flick's Flyers were fun. That ladybug spinning ride, what was it called? I don't remember, but the Grumpy Ladybug spinning ride, that's what it's called in my mind. They also had a fun little splash pad over there. But all of the adorable bug size theming was so cute. I particularly remember they had some benches that were made out of like used popsicle sticks. It was so cute. Plus they had that show over there that was so fun. And I know a lot of families were so sad to see it go, myself included. But Disney used that space to build Avengers Campus, which brought in new energy and characters and food. And now we're going to get 2 huge attractions in that area. It's a major glow up for that side of the park. And honestly, California Adventure needed that glow up at the time. We needed Avengers Campus. Now, even going way back, there were attractions like the Mickey Mouse Club Circus or the Flying Saucers that closed early just because they didn't work at all. And Walt himself was always testing and changing and improving, and he never wanted the park to be a museum that was just kind of stagnant where nothing changed. He wanted it to grow with the times. We cannot talk about past attractions without mentioning the People Mover, because I know so many people would be upset if I didn't mention the People Mover. So if you don't know, the People Mover was this slow scenic ride through Tomorrowland high above the crowds. It gave you a chance to rest your feet while taking in views of the future, or like at least what the future looked like in the 70s and 80s, and it was closed in the late 90s. There still is the People Mover over at Walt Disney World, and it's fabulous. But Disney tried to replace it with rocket rods, which didn't go quite as planned. That ride had speed, but not much stability, and it didn't last long. So now the People Mover track still sits there, empty and sad. You can see it overhead when you walk through Tomorrowland. And honestly, I think a lot of people miss it. That whole area feels like it's waiting for something. Now, I love Space Mountain as much as the next person, and I enjoy Buzz Lightyear, Astro Blasters, and let's see what's over there, Star Tours like that. Don't love Autopia. I'm just kind of like lukewarm on the Finding Nemo submarines, but it just doesn't feel like the future over there in Tomorrowland. It feels like the future from 1987 that never quite happened. And I think a lot of Disney fans are really hoping that maybe once all of these big projects wrap up over in California Adventure Park, like Avengers rides and Avatar and Coco, that we'll finally get that much needed Tomorrowland overhaul. Because if there's any land that could use a refresh, it's Tomorrowland. And I think even if they just brought back People Mover, people would be so thrilled. Oh, it would be so exciting. Can you even imagine? Wow. They've got the track. They could do it. Disney can do it. We'll see. I think Tomorrowland is still on the very distant horizon for refurbs, which is sad because, come on, we need some love over in Tomorrowland. But hey, talking about change, I totally get it. Change is hard, especially when you're attached to something, because I've been that person. I am still that person. I remember when they updated Pirates of the Caribbean and added Captain Jack Sparrow. I was like, really? I don't think we need Captain Jack Sparrow on this ride. It's already a classic. Why are we adding him? But now Jack fits right in. It feels like he's always been a part of the story. Same thing with Snow White Scary Adventures. I grew up with that ride, and I mean, it was pretty spooky, honestly. And I was really sad when they were going to give it a little glow up, a little zhuzh. But after the update to Snow White's Enchanted Wish, it became this beautiful, magical retelling of her story. And the effects were gorgeous, but it still honored all of the original things that I loved about the attraction. It just had a little extra pixie dust, and I love it. Disney almost always finds a way to improve what was already good. So yeah, it stings a little to say goodbye to Monsters, Inc. That ride is so charming. It's not a huge thrill ride, but it's funny, it's kid friendly, so fun to like sit there and talk to Roz as you're getting off of the attraction. It'll definitely be missed, but we are getting something that could be truly spectacular in its place. If the Avatar destination ends up being anything like what we've seen at Walt Disney World, then we are in for stunning visuals, immersive storytelling, and experiences that honestly feel otherworldly in the very best way. And I am really excited for that, because that's kind of the heart of Disneyland, isn't it? Walt Disney said something to the effect of Disneyland will never be completed. It will continue to grow as long as there is imagination left in the world. And I think he meant it. The park is always changing, sometimes in ways that make us a little sad and sometimes in ways that blow us away. But the goal is always the same, to create joy and wonder and memories that will stick with us forever. And money. Disney's also in it to make money. But also joy and wonder and memories too, right? I'm sure. We don't have to love every change right away, but more often than not, Disney proves that they know what they're doing. And if we're lucky, the next thing we fall in love with might just be around the corner. It might just be the Coco ride or the new Avengers ride or even the Avatar destination that is taking place of the beloved Monsters, Inc. attraction. So as we look ahead to all of these amazing changes coming to Disneyland and remember the ones we've already lived through, like Tower of Terror, I hope this episode gave you some perspective about what's coming, a little bit of excitement, and maybe even a new appreciation for the way that Disney keeps evolving, because these won't be the last changes. I guarantee it. There are going to be more. It's just what Disney does, because the park's never going to be finished, but it's always going to be filled with magic. Thank you so much for listening. You guys are absolutely the best. For those of you waiting on grandbaby news with me, still no grandbaby. I will keep you updated, but still no grandbaby yet. Oh my gosh, I'm on pins and needles any day now. Literally any day, any second, but not yet. All right, I will be back next week with something new for Patreon members, and for everyone else, I will see you in 2 weeks. Thanks so much for listening. We'll talk soon.